Hey guys, Gnarly here again. I know it's been a while since my last video, so in this video I'm going to be recapping the development of Influence since the last sale. There's a lot of exciting things that have gone on in this time, so this video is going to be a quick overview of each item, and in future videos that are going to be releasing over the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be going more in depth into each specific item. Before I do a quick recap of all the development that's happened, I just wanted to shout out a few amazing community members that we have in the Influence community. First off, My Left Arm, or Lefty. He is a Twitch streamer that has streamed Eve for the last 5 years. He has a high quality production and a pretty substantial subscriber base that he's going to be hopefully bringing over to Influence to play the game. So it's really exciting to see him aboard, and I'm really looking forward to catching more of his streams in the future. And another community member I want to quickly shout out is Professor Saber. Over the holidays, I got him to 3D print a version of my asteroid, and I used that as a stocking stuffer for, my wife and my family, and it was very amusing to see the looks on their face when they were feeling the asteroid and they initially thought it was coal. I talk about the game to them all the time, so just seeing the look on their face when they realized what it was really rewarding. So I wanted to shout out Saber as well. So if you didn't know, the last sale actually generated a few $1,000,000 of revenue for Influence. And for a team of this size that is around 10 or so people, that is huge for the continued development of this game. Additionally, we saw multiple DAOs enter and purchase huge assets, including DAOs such as YGG, Baze, Vampire DAO, Path DAO, and others that I'm probably forgetting right now. But that really goes to show that these organizations view Influence as a significant long-term investment. And talking about the longevity of the game, Influence also announced their Layer 2 partner, which is StarkNet. What Layer 2 allows for is really reduced transaction fees on the Ethereum network. And StarkNet goes about it by using zero-knowledge proofs to roll up basically a ton of transactions into one and then batch it up into mainnet. They're called ZK rollups. It's above my pay grade personally to understand, but practically speaking, it's going to allow for in-game transactions that are essentially fractions of a dollar, if not fractions of a cent. And it's going to seamlessly allow the game to be playable rather than be built on top of layer 1, where the gas fees would prohibit really any development of the game. So another really exciting thing that has launched since the last sale is department heads being available. So department heads are one-of-one crew members, and there are only 13 of them that will ever be in existence, and for each of the 13 different job departments there are. And each week a different department head is auctioned, and as you can see, so far these have been going for about 10 Ethereum a piece. So that's going to lead to another around 130 Ethereum that goes directly to the development of the game. And additionally, I personally believe 5 to 10 years from now, if not sooner, that these department heads are going to be one of the most sought after in-game assets just because of their rarity and what they represent to the game's lore. And if I had deeper pockets, I'd definitely be going after these department heads each week. Influence also released the tokenomics for their in-game token, Sway. Now this graphic is pretty complex, so I encourage you to read the tokenomics white paper as well as watch a future video where I go into detail about Sway and all the tokenomics associated with it. Basically, the generation of Sway is going to be dynamic based upon the number of players and the activity of the players. So more Sway is going to be released as there is a larger and more active player base. And if the player base, for whatever reason, begins to shrink or slow down in activity, it's going to slow down the emissions of Sway so it doesn't overinflate the currency. Ideally, what the developers want is for the currency to remain relatively stable in price throughout the lifetime of the game. So week to week, there aren't crazy fluctuations in the prices of Sway to different resources, such as, a bar of iron may be 1 Sway one week and 10 Sway another week. That's something that ideally would be avoided based upon the internal dynamics of the token. Influence has also recently hired some amazing artists, including Sergey and Will, who have formerly worked for Eve Online, along with Emily as well. I encourage you all to take a look at what they've been working on in the Discord, and it's really been amazing. What I'm showing you right now is something that was brought up in a recent Rock Talk, and that's the development of different ship concepts and what they may look like realistically from, a society that's being built essentially from the scraps of the RVAD. And last but not least, Influence has its first playable feature, crew assignments. So crew assignments have been written by Korevac, a community member who's been with Influence since, the first sale in April. And the crew assignments are text-based adventures where you get to put yourself in the perspective of your crewmates who have been living on the RVAD for a generation or so, and the difficult decisions that they have, what drives them, the internal conflict that's going on about the ship, and along the way you get certain traits that are, unique to your individual crewmate. So you may have a crewmate whose drive is survival, and you may have a completely different trait on another crewmate, just basically how you view them in game. One thing I do want to highlight is it looks like some of these traits come with in-game bonuses. As you can see, Surveyor is an in-game bonus that increases core sampling speed while surveying an asteroid, which is going to be huge for miners. And so I'm really glad that this miner specialist that I own has this trait that could be an in-game boost, and how much of a boost is something we don't know yet, but I've been doing these crew assignments weekly for a handful of my crew, just slowly progressing through them, and I've really enjoyed the lore and the backstory that Korevac has worked so hard to create. And so I encourage all of you who own a crew member to take a stab at these. There are no wrong answers at all. If you have any questions along the way, feel free to drop them in the crew assignments channel in Discord. But it's really great that we have a playable feature already, and I personally find it pretty entertaining for someone who's been following the game for so long to really, be in the minds of these individual crew members and what they're going through. And I'm looking forward to the new ones that are going to be releasing over the coming weeks as well. Thank you all for watching this quick summary video of everything development-wise that has occurred over the last 4 months in Influence. I encourage you all to like this video and subscribe to the channel, because I'm going to be making more videos over the coming weeks, trying to get rid of the backlog of content I need to create about the tokenomics, the crew members, the asteroid spectral types, and the rarity, among so many other exciting things going on within Influence. So again, thank you all for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to hit me up in Discord, and I look forward to seeing you all in the belt.